Beijing's regulatory crackdown has attracted scrutiny in Washington. Marco Rubio, Republican senator from Florida, says it was reckless and irresponsible to allow Didi to list on the New York Stock Exchange. He added the crackdown underscores the risks for U.S. investors in Chinese companies. Joining us live is Jiahe Chen, CIO at Novem Arcae Technologies in Shanghai. Well, Jiahe, following Senator Rubio's comments and China's plans to curb overseas IPOs, what listing options are left then for Chinese companies?
Well, I would say they would still be able to consider the market in Hong Kong, in Shanghai. Actually, New York is still a consideration. I mean, currently we don't have a very clear message saying that they can't go to get listed in the US. As long as they can get a nod from the authorities, they would still be able to do that. So listing in mainland, listing in Hong Kong are still options over there.
Well, taking a look at the measures against China's tech sector, what do you think is the regulator's ultimate goal then?
Well, there are two things the regulators try to sort out when you look at the recent regulatory actions taken to the tech firms. One is to avoid the monopoly. Some of the tech companies, they have been trying to get to become the only one player in the market and try to form a kind of monopoly after killing all its rivals and be able to raise the price. This is something that the Chinese government clearly does not want. So they are actually cracking down on any company that tries to make a monopoly and gets a profit which is not normal. The second is that some of the tech companies has been using the data as much as they want. For example, making discrimination between users based on which phone you use. If you use an Android, you would get a lower price, but if you use an iPhone, you get a higher price. This has been seen in the news. So Chinese authority is also trying to work these things out.
And of these series of measures, which companies have been hit the worst and which do you think will survive?
Well, if you put the companies into different categories, you can see who will get hit the worst. Those companies who has been spending a huge amount of money trying to kill all its rivals and try to become the monopoly at last, these companies would be hit the most because they have used up a lot of capital. They try to become a monopoly, and now they can't do that. So the profit that can be brought by a monopoly is no longer available. So these companies will be hit very hard, you can see from the price. On the other hand, if you are a company that is actually producing the real technology, which is currently China really wants, such as producing good computer chips, equipments, this kind of what we call the hard technology, not the consumption-related technology, you're not facing any pressure from the government. Actually, they are still receiving a lot of subsidies. So these would be the category if you're talking about a tech company that is benefiting the most.
Thank you for speaking with us, Jiahe Chen, CIO at Novem Arcae Technologies in Shanghai.